The Roloff family had always been in the public eye, their lives carefully documented on TLC's Little People, Big World. Fans watched the ups and downs of Matt and Amy Roloff's long marriage, their eventual divorce, the tension that followed, and then the surprising love story of Amy with real estate agent Marek. For years, viewers believed that Amy had finally found stability and happiness with Chris, the man who seemed to balance her adventurous yet cautious nature. Hello friends, welcome to my channel. I am Elena, and I hope you are well. If you like the video, please subscribe the channel USA Dramatic Show and press the bell icon. But as 2025 unfolded, rumors began to spread that Amy's life had once again taken a dramatic turn. Whispers of a second husband emerged on fan forums, social media threads, and reality TV gossip columns. The words sounded unbelievable at first. Amy Roloff had remarried? To someone other than Marek? The storyline felt almost too wild for fans who had followed the family for nearly 2 decades. And yet, as the pieces slowly came together, the shocking truth began to emerge. Amy and Chris's marriage had always seemed steady on the surface. Chris, the patient and easygoing partner, provided a calming counterbalance to Amy's fiery personality. On camera, the two were affectionate, supportive, and seemed to enjoy their blended life together. But privately, things weren't always so simple. Friends close to the couple whispered that Amy sometimes struggled with feelings of insecurity. After decades of being tied to Matt Roloff, her identity as Amy Roloff, wife and mother, had shifted. She was now a grandmother, a TV personality, and Chris's partner. Some days, she thrived in that role. Other days, she confessed to close friends that she wasn't sure if she had chosen the right path. Chris, meanwhile, sometimes felt sidelined. Amy's world was deeply rooted in her children, her grandchildren, and the constant filming demands of TLC. He had known what he was signing up for. Amy wasn't just an ordinary woman. She was a Roloff. Still, it stung when he realized that their private life was never truly private. Their disagreements were rarely explosive, but they were frequent enough. Chris wanted more travel, more quiet dinners, more time spent just the two of them. Amy, in contrast, wanted to stay close to her family and keep herself busy with projects, events, and yes, the show. By late 2024, cracks had begun to show. The man at the center of this unfolding storm was someone no one expected: Jonathan Reed, a motivational speaker and businessman from Oregon. Jonathan had been introduced to Amy through a charity event that the Roloff family supported. At first, he was just another acquaintance in Amy's wide circle of community connections. But Jonathan had charisma. Tall, confident, with an easy smile and a way of making everyone in the room feel seen, he quickly made an impression. Amy admired his drive, his energy, and his way of talking about purpose and fulfillment. He reminded her of the passion she used to have in her younger years, the fire that sometimes dimmed in her quieter life with Chris. It started innocently enough. Jonathan and Amy exchanged messages about upcoming charity projects. They collaborated on a fundraiser. He asked her opinion on a speech he was preparing. But soon, their conversations shifted from professional to personal. They talked about regrets, dreams, and what it meant to start over in life. For Amy, it felt like a rediscovery. Jonathan told her she was brave, that her story of resilience could inspire others, that she was more than just a reality TV star. He saw her as a woman who had weathered storms and still had decades ahead of her to shine. Those words lit something inside Amy, something Chris had never managed to ignite. Marek was not blind. He could see the way Amy's eyes lit up when Jonathan's name came up. He could tell when her phone buzzed late at night and she suddenly smiled, trying to hide the screen. At first, Chris brushed it off. Amy had many friends, and she was a social butterfly compared to his more reserved nature. But the little things piled up. She started dressing differently, bolder colors, brighter patterns, as if she were trying to reclaim a youthful energy. She began attending events that Chris had no interest in, and she didn't push him to come along. Finally, one evening, Chris confronted her. "Is there something going on I should know about?" he asked, his voice steady but heavy with concern. Amy froze. She had prepared for this moment in her mind, but when it finally came, she faltered. "Chris, you know I love you," she began carefully. "But I've been doing a lot of thinking about my life, about what I want for the years ahead." Those words were enough. Chris's heart sank. He didn't need a confession to understand the truth. Amy was slipping away from him. The real shock came weeks later when a tabloid magazine broke the news. Amy Roloff's second husband revealed, Chris Marek heartbroken. The headlines spread like wildfire across social media. Fans of Little People, Big World couldn't believe it. The magazine published photos of Amy and Jonathan holding hands at a private dinner in Portland. Another photo showed Amy wearing what appeared to be a new ring on her finger. Chris had not even had time to process the end of their marriage before the world learned about Amy's new relationship. He felt blindsided, humiliated, and deeply wounded. "I thought we had more time to figure things out," he confided to a close friend. "I never imagined it would end like this, with her already moving on, and me finding out with everyone else." The Roloff children were divided. Zach Roloff was furious. He felt protective of Chris, who had been nothing but kind to the family. Zach didn't trust Jonathan, whom he viewed as an opportunist capitalizing on Amy's vulnerability. Jeremy Roloff stayed quiet publicly, but privately admitted to friends that he wasn't surprised. "Mom always needs someone to lean on," he said. Molly Roloff, the most private of the siblings, urged her mother to think carefully before rushing into anything permanent. Jacob Roloff, the youngest, was blunt. "It feels like betrayal, to be honest." Chris deserved better. The family dynamic, already fragile from years of reality TV drama, was once again fractured. Amy, however, defended her choices. In a candid Instagram Live, she told fans, "I know a lot of people don't understand, but life is about growth. I'll always care for Chris, but sometimes relationships aren't forever. Jonathan came into my life at a time when I needed to rediscover myself. He's brought me joy, and I won't apologize for choosing happiness." Her words only fueled the debate online. Was Amy being selfish, or was she simply following her heart after decades of sacrifice? Chris Marek had always been a man of composure. Friends described him as level-headed, the calm anchor that balanced Amy's fiery personality. But after the news broke, he found himself sitting alone in his modest Oregon home, blinds drawn, staring at the glow of his phone as headlines piled up. Chris left blindsided by Amy's secret romance. Amy Roloff already remarried? Little People, Big World star ditches Chris Marek for younger motivational speaker. He set the phone down, feeling the sting in his chest. He wasn't a man who sought fame. He had never wanted the spotlight. But now, the entire world seemed to be watching him grieve. When his best friend, Tom, dropped by to check on him, Chris muttered, "I thought Amy was my forever. We had plans to future. And now, it's like she just erased me from the picture." Tom patted him on the shoulder. "You loved her. Maybe too much. But Chris, you can't let her destroy you. She's chasing something she thinks is missing. That doesn't mean you're not enough." Chris wanted to believe that. But the empty chair across from him at dinner screamed otherwise. Jonathan Reed had never shied away from attention. He thrived in it. Standing tall at 6 feet, with salt and pepper hair and a commanding presence, he knew how to own a room. And now, he was stepping into a far bigger one, Amy Roloff's world. At first, he seemed humble. In interviews, he said things like, "I respect Amy's journey. I never wanted to cause pain. I just wanted to love her for who she is." But behind the scenes, he relished the publicity. His motivational speaking bookings skyrocketed. His social media following tripled. Podcasts and talk shows invited him to share his love story with Amy. "Amy inspires me every day," he told Good Morning America. "She's proof that it's never too late to rewrite your story." Fans were divided. Some swooned at his charm. Others accused him of being a fame seeker, exploiting Amy's vulnerability for personal gain. And in the middle of it all, Chris Marek sat quietly, refusing interviews, his heartbreak playing out in silence. The Roloff family dinner table became a battlefield. Zach was the first to voice his fury. Mom, do you even realize what you've done to Chris? He was part of this family. He loved you. And you just... Amy interrupted. Zach, I understand you're upset, but this is my life. I can't live for appearances. Chris and we weren't right for each other anymore. Not right? Zach slammed his fist on the table. He was loyal to you. He respected you. And you trade him for some guy who talks on stages for a living. Jeremy, always more diplomatic, leaned forward. Mom, we just want you to be happy. But happiness built on hurting people doesn't last. I don't know if Jonathan is who you think he is. Molly spoke softly, her voice tinged with sadness. Mom, I just wish you'd taken more time. Divorce, marriage, remarriage, it's all so fast. Don't you think your heart needs space to heal before you jump again? Jacob, blunt as ever, said, this whole thing feels fake. Jonathan's using your name, Mom. You're too smart not to see it. Amy's eyes brimmed with tears. She loved her children, but she felt cornered. For years, she had lived by others' expectations, as Matt's wife, as the kids' mother, as the face of a TV show.